Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to the March Green Chemistry Connections. I'm really excited to get started today, so I think we can just kind of let people trickle in as they're going to come in, and I will get going on our introduction. So this is just a brief agenda of everything that's going to happen today. We have 2 presentations and 2 breakout sessions, and we will lead you through everything as it happens. So thank you for coming. My name is Nimrat. I am a program manager for higher education at Benign, and I'll be hosting the connections today. And behind the scenes, you will see Juliana, who is our postgraduate student liaison, and she will be kind of doing all of the technical stuff that you can't see happening, but makes everything run really smoothly. So if you have any difficulties at any point, you can send me or Juliana a message in the chat, and we'll do our best to kind of help you out. Before I get started on the content of today's presentation, I wanted to start with a land acknowledgement. So we wish to acknowledge this unceded land on which Beyond Benign operates, and for years it's been the traditional land of the Pawtucket and the Massachusetts nations. We do acknowledge the painful history of genocide, colonialism, and forced removal from this territory, and also acknowledge that for us, further education is needed to learn the full history of the land we occupy and all the Indigenous peoples it belongs to. Presently, we acknowledge that this meeting place is still home to many Indigenous nations across Turtle Island, and we honor, respect, and celebrate the diversity of peoples that are connected to this land. And because we are in a virtual space today and you all are attending from different places around the world, we acknowledge that we all occupy unceded land and territories belonging to Indigenous nations across the world. And in terms of what Beyond Benign is doing, we are committing to educating ourselves, to supporting and uplifting Indigenous communities, and decolonizing our organization, our practices, programs, and activities. And we strongly encourage you as our attendees today to do the same. And if you'd like a little bit more information about how we put together our land acknowledgement and the resources we used, there's a link at the bottom of the slide there, and I'll make these slides available after the meeting, so you can check that out. The other thing I wanted to quickly go over is just the usage of pronouns. So some of you might see that I have my pronouns there, she, they, and my display name. These are basically just how we identify ourselves and how someone else will refer to us. So it is important to use the ones that other people want us to use. And I've written some examples there on the slide. Some people use more than one set of pronouns, so I'm a good example of that. I like to be referred to kind of half the time as she, her, and then the other half as they, them. So, and some people don't even use pronouns at all and just like to be referred to by their name. So these are a lot of different situations. How would you describe your own? You can say, please use she, they for me. That's how I would talk about my own pronouns. Or if you want to ask for someone else's, you can say, what pronouns can I use for you? And if you don't know someone's pronouns, just use their name until you can ask. And if you accidentally get it wrong, that happens. So just apologize briefly and then use the correct ones moving forwards. And if any of you are interested in learning more about pronouns or about gender identity, I've written some links there at the bottom of the slide, and you can also feel free to follow those ones. If you are interested in putting your pronouns in your Zoom display name, what you can do is you can hover over the 3 dots in the corner of your photo, and you can select rename from the drop-down list in that menu. And then you can just type in your own pronouns into your display name. That's how I altered mine. And then there are also some instructions here on how to do that permanently if that's something that you're interested in. And so you can feel free to follow those instructions on the slide here. The other thing I wanted to mention is that we have enabled a live transcription on this meeting. So you can see subtitles if you would like to, and the transcript of the meeting will also be made available afterwards. So if you'd like to see the transcript, you can click this button at the bottom of the screen that says CC live transcript for the closed captions on your own screen. And then the last thing I wanted to just talk about quickly is, as a reminder, this is the code of conduct for the Green Chemistry Connections. And so by being here today, you are agreeing to the following expected behaviors and agreeing to stay away from these unacceptable behaviors. And in general, because we have a lot of breakout rooms today, our guideline is to just make sure that everyone gets a chance to speak in the breakout rooms, and that one person or two people are not overtaking the conversation. So please be cognizant of letting everyone have a turn when networking and connecting with each other. So just a little bit about Beyond Benign before we get into our talks today. For those of you who are new to Beyond Benign, or maybe you're attending for the first time, what we really do is we work across the education continuum to foster transformative change in STEM education. And so that means going through all the way through kindergarten to grade 12 and inspiring future chemists through out-of-school programs, through undergrad or university or higher education, which is where a lot of us are coming from today, through to grad school and then out to the workforce. And we were founded in 2007 by Dr. John Warner and Dr. Amy Cannon, and I think Amy is actually on the call today. And so really what we want to do here is foster a green chemistry education community and empower educators to transform chemistry education to be more sustainable and with our future in mind. And one of the ways that we do that is through the Higher Education Green Chemistry Commitment Program. Now, all of you, or most of you might already know this, but for some of you who don't, the GCC, or the Green Chemistry Commitment, is a program that we run that unites the green chemistry community globally around shared goals and a common vision. And by signing the commitment, you will expand the community of green chemists. You can grow your own departmental resources for green chemistry. You can improve your institutions, your connections, and your students' connections to industry and job opportunities. And really what we're trying to do is to affect systemic and lasting change in chemistry education, really transforming it to be sustainable, as opposed to just relying on methods that maybe don't take into consideration hazards, risk, etc. So, excuse me. All green chemistry commitment signers, when you sign the commitment, you adopt 4 student learning objectives in your departments. So theory, green chemistry principles, and this is really where the open access educational resources that we offer come into play, in addition to practicing green chemistry in labs, toxicology, which is another huge component of the green chemistry commitment. And then also finally, applying these green chemistry skills that your students will learn to serve society. And I'm happy to say that we have 92 signers globally in the Americas and also across the rest of the world as well. So please feel free to follow the links here at the bottom of the slide to check out who's committed or to learn a little bit more about the green chemistry commitment if you yourselves or your institutions are interested in signing. Another initiative that we have, which is part of the green chemistry commitment, is called 25 by 25. And what Beyond Benign does is we're pursuing partnerships with colleges and universities in the US to ensure that 25% of the students graduating with a chemistry degree have a background in green chemistry by 2025. And we do this by recruiting US signers and by taking into account the students that are graduating with chemistry degrees and taking into account how green chemistry is implemented at these institutions. So this initiative was launched in January 2021. And I'm happy to say that we have 72 US signers to date, which does account for us for over 10% of graduating students, and it keeps increasing. So we are very, very excited about this and are very focused on trying to recruit as many US institutions as possible to fulfill this goal. And along that note, please join us in welcoming our latest signer to the Green Chemistry Commitment, Siena College in New York from USA. And their profile on our website, the Who's Committed profile, will be coming soon. So you can feel free to check out everything about them and our other signers on our website. Okay, last thing that I want to mention in our introduction is that throughout the green chemistry commitment, but also, or sorry, the connections, but also after the connections are done, you can always join the conversation online with us. So you can engage with us on Twitter or the other social media platforms shown here. And throughout the session today, Juliana, our, oh no, that's a typo, sorry, postgraduate student liaison will be live tweeting. And so you can feel free to engage with her posts on social media as well.